Welcome to everyone. This week's video will cover the Bitcoin market for the week of September 1st, 2025. Before we start, please read the disclaimer carefully. After 2 weeks off, I am back on my weekly publication. The last Bitcoin update was on July 21st. At that time I was expecting the 20-week cycle peak to form soon. Let's see what's happened since. On the long-term picture, the 18-month cycle is still very bullish and the peak should occur this month. On August 14th, the Bitcoin market formed a 124,517 new all-time high. Is the August 14th high is the 18-month cycle peak? We will know with certitude by analyzing the different lower time frames. If the August peak is the 18-month cycle peak, he occurred right on the target and right on the peak of the cycle. Like I mentioned in my last update, where the 18-month cycle peak occur is a very important information for the future trend. A peak in September or October will be a sign of a moderate correction. I expected the next correction to end by February 2026. And should find support on his cycle line, which will be around $85,000. We will watch carefully if the Bitcoin market will find a support on his cycle line. Or will cross below. If he cross sharply below, then he will trigger a possible downside target around 45,500. But before to take this scenario seriously, the Bitcoin market also have to cross below his VTL. Confirming the previous high before the crossing is at least in 54-month cycle peak. But on trading point of view, the 18-month cycle is not very helpful. He will just give the direction of the next trend. Let's see the 40-week cycle. The last trading signal for the 40-week was during the first week of May, when the Bitcoin market crossed above his cycle line at 100,158, providing a potential 125,882 upside target. The 124,517 August 14th high was $1,365 or 1.06% below his target. Considering my 1% margin of error, 1.06% is close enough to consider it the target has been met. The peak of this 40-week cycle was expected to form during the second week of August. If the August 14th high is the 40-week peak, then the peak formed right on time. There is a possibility the Bitcoin market will make a new all-time high before heading down to form his 40-week cycle low by the end of January 2026. But we have to take this possibility with prudence since the 18-month and the 40-week cycle will be in the down phase. During the next 40-week low formation, the Bitcoin market should cross below his cycle line. Up to today with one positive signal, the success rate is 100%. Let's go to the next lower cycle, the 20-week. The August 14th, 124,517 high is the 20-week peak cycle. If the last 18-month cycle low in August 2024 label is correct, then we can expect the Bitcoin market to cross below his cycle line, the green line, and provide a potential downside target. If the Bitcoin cross below this week, then we will have an 83,983 target. The other possibility is, since we still have a lot of bullishness to the Bitcoin market, the market can only find support on his cycle line, rebound and rally to form a new all-time high. For that reason it is very important to watch carefully where the market will for his next 20-week low. If the market like expected cross below his cycle line, there is a very high probability the trend for the next few months will be down. But until this happening, we can consider it the Bitcoin market still bullish. When the actual 20-week cycle low is formed, I will draw the 20-week VTL, starting from the April low. When the market will cross below his VTL, this will confirm the next longer cycle peak, the 40-week, has formed or in formation. The last trading signal for the 20-week cycle was clearly the first week of May, when the Bitcoin market crossed above his cycle line at 96,117, providing an upside potential 117,800. The Bitcoin market met his target 9 weeks later, for a $21,683 profit. From that point the market still moving up, and made a 124,514 new all-time high on August 14th. With 2 trading signal, and both positive, the success rate for the 20-week cycle is 100%. The 80-day cycle. When the market crossed below his VTL on August 19th, the Bitcoin market gave us a very important information. According to the Hurst rules, this confirmed the next longer peak has formed, in this case the 20-week. With confidence we can label the August high as 20-week peak. After saying that, what we can expect for the Bitcoin market. Few days before the August 19th, the Bitcoin market crossed below his cycle line at 118,241, establishing a potential downside 111,965 target, for a potential $6,276 profit. 2 days later the market meet and exceed his target, on his way to form the next 80-day cycle low, expected for August 28th, last Thursday, the vertical purple dashed line. It seemed the 80-day low will be few days late. After forming his 80-day low, the Bitcoin market will cross above his cycle line, triggered a new potential upside target, and confirming the 20-week cycle low is formed. With 4 trading signals since January, and 3 positive and 1 negative, the success rate for the 80-day cycle is 75%. If the Bitcoin followed the Hurst nominal model and formed the low on August 29th, the next 80-day low should be on November 4th, and the peak around October 2nd. If the peak occurred before that date, then we can expect a sharp correction to follow his peak. We will have confirmation of the next 80-day peak by analyzing the lower cycle, the 40-day cycle. Speaking of the 40-day cycle, let's see what we can expect for the next few weeks. On August 19th, the Bitcoin market crossed below his 40 days VTL, confirming the August 14th as the 40-day peak, but also the next longer cycle, the 80-day cycle peak. 2 days later, the Bitcoin also crossed below his cycle line at 113,500, providing a 102,483 potential downside target. This 40-day cycle low is expected for the September 9th, the blue vertical dashed line. The Bitcoin market may rally in the next few days toward his cycle line, without crossing above. Then resume his decline to form the 40, 80-day and 20-week cycle. As expected in my last update, during the last 40-day low formation, the Bitcoin market crossed below his cycle line, providing a 111,964 potential target. On August 3rd, the Bitcoin market formed a low just $45 below the target. The low was expected on July 26th but was late by 8 days. On August 10th, the Bitcoin market crossed back above his cycle line at 117,200, providing a 122,481 potential upside target. 3 days later, the Bitcoin market made a 123,715 new all-time high, meeting and exceeding his target. The next day the Bitcoin market made 124,517 all-time high. The 102,483 downside target is still valid until the market crossed back above his cycle line. With 6 trading signal, all positive, trading the 40-day cycle have a 100% success rate. In conclusion, Bitcoin's current market structure suggests a critical juncture approaching. Multiple cycle confluences indicate potential trend shifts, with the August 14th high marking significant peaks across various timeframes. While immediate support around $85,000 remains likely, traders should monitor cycle line interactions carefully. The convergence of 18-month, 40-week, and shorter cycles entering downward phases warrants cautious optimism. Success rates across analyzed cycles demonstrate the methodology's reliability, though prudent risk management remains essential during this transitional period. For more detailed analysis on the shorter term or to know how the cycles works in the stock market, I recommend to visit my website, Tradingmarketcycles.com. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up to support my channel. Share it with others, and subscribe so you don't miss any important updates. This concludes this week's video. Thank you for following along. And I'll see you next week with another exciting installment. Welcome.